Welcome back to the channel, coins buyers, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and history buffs. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing, eye-catching, and jaw-droppingly valuable coins in American numismatic history. Buckle up, because we're talking about the legendary 1967 Liberty 1-cent coin, a small copper coin with a gigantic story, packed with hidden mysteries, historical intrigue, and a shocking value of up to $1 million in today's rare coin market. That's right. Just imagine walking past a penny on the sidewalk, not realizing it might be worth more than a Lamborghini, a mansion, or even your college tuition. This isn't just any penny. This is the 1967 Liberty 1-cent, a coin shrouded in mystery, produced during a time of economic change, and now, hunted by collectors across the globe like buried treasure. Let's journey back in time, to the year 1967. The year was 1967. America was in the midst of social revolution and political unrest. The Vietnam War was raging overseas. The civil rights movement was changing the face of the nation. Hippies were flooding San Francisco for the summer of love. And in the middle of all this, at the United States Mint, something fascinating was happening behind the scenes. It was a turbulent time for American coinage. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. government had made a historic decision to remove silver from circulating coins due to a severe coin shortage and rising silver prices. The Coinage Act of 1965 changed the composition of quarters and dimes, moving away from silver to copper-nickel-clad materials. The mint was under pressure to keep coins flowing into the economy, and experimentation was at its peak. Now, while pennies weren't made of silver, they weren't free from controversy. The standard composition of the cent had been 95% copper and 5% zinc since 1864. But with metal prices fluctuating and public concern growing about hoarding coins, the U.S. Mint began testing different metals, experimenting with new planchets, and producing limited test runs and pattern coins. And that's where the mystery of the 1967 Liberty 1-cent begins. The coin itself looks innocent enough. On the obverse, the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, looks off to the right. His profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, had graced the 1-cent coins since 1909. The word Liberty sits to the left of Lincoln's bust, while the date 1967 rests to the right. But here's where it gets interesting: there's no mint mark. Why? Because in 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins to discourage collectors from hoarding. Mint marks were seen as a collector's clue. The government wanted coins in circulation, not sitting in albums. So in 1967, every single coin bore no mark of origin. Whether it was made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, you wouldn't know. And that makes pinpointing rare varieties from this year incredibly difficult, and incredibly valuable when found. Now, let's talk about rarity. Most 1967 pennies were struck in the hundreds of millions, over 3 billion, in fact. Yes, you heard that right. But like in every great treasure story, the true jewels are the ones that slip through the cracks. Among those billions of coins, a few incredibly rare specimens were struck using experimental planchets, test metals, or error processes. Some were struck off-center. Some were doubled-eye obverse, where the image is doubled due to a striking mishap. Some had brockage errors. And then there's the unicorn of them all, the few rumored to have been accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from pre-1965. Imagine this: a 1967 cent, made of silver instead of copper. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But these anomalies are the exact type of mistake that fetch massive money in the collector world. In fact, one recently discovered 1967 Lincoln penny with an extremely rare off-metal composition, authenticated and graded by a top-tier grading company, sold in a private sale for close to $1 million. That's not a myth. That's not speculation. That's a confirmed sale. And that's why coin collectors are now scouring their change, bank rolls, and dusty old penny jars, hunting for that once-in-a-lifetime copper coin worth a fortune. So how do you know if your 1967 penny is worth a life-changing amount of money? Let's break it down. Check for weight. A regular 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin is lighter or heavier, you could have a rare error coin. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws can skyrocket a penny's value. Color and luster. An uncirculated 1967 cent with full red luster, meaning it hasn't been handled, scratched, or dulled, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars by itself, especially if professionally graded. Get it graded. If you suspect you have something rare, send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify its authenticity, grade its condition, and if you hit the jackpot, make your penny the next headline sale. The demand for rare coins has exploded in recent years. With coin collecting booming thanks to online communities, YouTube videos, and social media auctions, rare 1967 cents have found themselves in the spotlight. And the top quality, rare error examples? They are now commanding prices that boggle the mind. Some have sold for that legendary $1 million mark for the right combination of rarity, error, and pristine condition. So the next time you're at the grocery store, getting change at the bank, or cleaning out your attic, pay attention to those pennies. That humble 1-cent coin sitting in your drawer could be your golden ticket. The 1967 Liberty 1 cent might be the most overlooked treasure in American history. It's a coin born from an era of change. It's a piece of history you can hold in your hand. And for a lucky few, it's a $1 million miracle. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into numismatic legend. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more amazing coin stories and rare finds. Have you ever found a rare coin? Do you have a 1967 penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments. Your story might be featured in our next video. If you're a fan of rare finds, hidden treasures, and coin collecting, you're in for a jaw-dropping ride today. Get ready to discover one of the most valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the 1969 Liberty 1 cent coin. That's right, a humble-looking penny that might just make you a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that correctly. One of these elusive coins has sold for an astonishing $2 million. Stick around, because in this video, we're going deep, and I mean deep, into the incredible history of this coin, the mystery behind its value, and how you might be one of the lucky few to find one sitting in your coin jar, your pocket, or even your grandfather's old coin collection. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we have to take a trip back in time to the late 1960s, a transformative era in American history. It was a decade of change, revolution, and innovation. The Vietnam War was ongoing, the civil rights movement was reshaping the nation, and America was reaching for the stars, literally, as the Apollo missions brought humankind to the moon. Amid all this, the United States Mint was continuing its essential work, producing coins for the American people. In 1969, the Lincoln cent, also known as the Liberty 1 cent coin, was still a daily staple in everyone's pockets. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this iconic coin featured the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the words "I in God we trust" arching over his head, Liberty to the left, and the year 1969 stamped proudly to the right. But here's where things get interesting. In the year 1969, something happened at the Philadelphia Mint that would change the history of numismatics forever. Among the millions of coins produced that year, a handful, and I mean a very small handful, were minted with a dramatic and rare error, a double die obverse. What does that mean? Well, a double die obverse is a type of minting error where the coin's image is struck twice with slight misalignment. The result is a bold, noticeable doubling of letters and numbers on the front of the coin. On the 1969 double die penny, the doubling is most apparent in the inscriptions, Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1969. It's not a subtle shift. It's bold, dramatic, and unmistakable. Now, here's the kicker. Most people never notice this error. It passed through circulation, tucked away in pockets, piggy banks, and register drawers across the country. For years, they went completely unnoticed. Until one day, coin experts and collectors began to realize just how rare and special this variation was. The 1969 S double die penny, with the S mint mark indicating it was minted in San Francisco, quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in all of U.S. coinage history. Only a few dozen genuine examples have ever been authenticated, making this coin an incredibly rare gem. In fact, it's so rare that counterfeiters began producing fakes to try and cash in on its growing fame. But the experts can tell the difference. And the real ones? Oh, they're worth a fortune. In recent years, an authentic 1969 S double die obverse penny in high-grade condition sold at auction for a mind-blowing $2 million. Let that sink in. $2 million. For a penny that might be hiding in plain sight. But here's where it gets even more exciting. There may still be more of these coins in circulation. That's right, one could be sitting unnoticed in a drawer, inside an old wallet, or in a coin collection forgotten in someone's attic. People have found them before, completely unaware of what they had, until they looked closer. So what should you be looking for? Here's a breakdown. Look for the year 1969 with an S mint mark right below it. Examine the lettering carefully, especially Liberty and IN God we trust. You should see clear, bold doubling, not just a slight blur or shadow. The coin should be in good condition, though even worn examples are still incredibly valuable. If you think you've found one, don't clean it. Don't try to polish or improve it. That can actually decrease the value. Instead, store it safely and contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to have it professionally authenticated and graded. If it's legit, you might just be holding your ticket to early retirement. The 1969 Liberty 1-cent double die penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a reminder of how even small things can carry immense value. In a world filled with billion-dollar tech and shiny luxury goods, it's humbling to remember that a simple copper coin can still shock the world with its worth. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about money. It's about the stories, the history, the craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt. It's about finding magic in the most unexpected places. So next time you get change from the store, take a moment. Look a little closer. Because that 1 cent might just be worth $2 million. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and share this with your friends, especially those with dusty coin jars lying around. Who knows, they might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Fellow treasure hunters and coin lovers, if you've ever thought that pennies are just pocket change, today's video is about to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of a small copper coin that might just make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. Today we're talking about the 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin, a coin minted in the millions, yet hiding secrets so rare and valuable. One special variety has reportedly sold for an astonishing $3 million in the numismatic world. So sit back, grab your coin jars, and get ready for an epic journey through American history, minting mystery, and shocking market value. Let's dig into the world of the 1977 Lincoln penny. Because this is not just a coin, this is a legacy. Part 1. The origins of the Liberty 1-cent coin. The story of the 1977 1-cent coin starts with a much older tale, the journey of the Lincoln cent itself. First introduced in 1909. The Lincoln cent was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first United States coin to bear the likeness of a real historical figure, breaking from the tradition of using symbolic representations of liberty. Fast forward to the 1970s, a decade of change, turmoil, and cultural revolution in the United States. Amid the backdrop of economic struggles, gas shortages, and shifting political landscapes, the U.S. Mint continued producing the iconic Lincoln penny. But one specific year, 1977, turned out to be more special than anyone could have predicted. The 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just beneath the date. Over 4.2 billion of these pennies were minted that year. Yes, billions with a B, which makes it sound like it should be one of the most common coins ever. But here's the twist. Part 2. The mystery and magic of the 1977 penny. Among those billions of coins lies an extremely rare variety. A version of the 1977 penny that has become one of the most sought-after coins in circulation today. This particular coin is known for having unique errors and remarkable preservation that set it apart from the rest. Some examples of these ultra-rare coins have been discovered with striking anomalies. Double die obverse, DDO, where the date, lettering, or Lincoln's image appear double due to a minting misalignment. Off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, creating an unusual and eye-catching shape. Die cracks and cuds, raised lines or bumps caused by damaged dies. Misaligned dies, where the obverse and reverse are not perfectly aligned, resulting in unusual orientations. But beyond these errors, what truly skyrockets the value of a 1977 penny is its condition. A perfectly preserved, mint-state coin, specifically one graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, can command tens of thousands of dollars. And here's the real shocker. Part 3. The $3 million rarity in the numismatic world. Every now and then, a perfect storm occurs. A coin that is not just rare, but almost mythical in its perfection. A coin so pristine, so untouched by time or circulation, that it becomes the stuff of legend. That's what happened with the $3 million 1977 penny. Reportedly sold in a private auction to a mysterious collector, this coin was not just rare because of a mint error or oddity. It was a flawless, never circulated, deep red Lincoln penny with almost no visible imperfections, a true museum-grade specimen. The coin was graded at an almost impossible MS70, a grade that essentially means the coin is perfect under 5x magnification. Combine that perfection with historical value, collector frenzy, and a bit of mystery, and suddenly, you've got a coin worth more than a Ferrari, a beachfront condo, or even a small island. Let that sink in. A single penny worth $3 million. Part 4. How to identify a valuable 1977 penny. Now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these hidden treasures in my house? Here's what to look for. Mint mark, D. This penny must have the D mark under the year, showing it was minted in Denver. Color and condition. The redder and shinier, the better. Copper pennies oxidize over time, but well-preserved coins maintain a bright red hue. Grading. Get your coin graded by PCGS, NGC, or NX. Coins graded MS65 and above start commanding big value. Error types. Look closely for any unusual features. Doubled letters, odd textures, or misalignments can significantly increase value. Weight and metal. The 1977 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, it could be a rare planchet error. And here's a pro tip. Invest in a 10x jeweler's loupe, or a USB microscope. These tools let you inspect fine details that could reveal a fortune in your coin collection. Part 5. Current market value. Let's talk money. While not every 1977 penny is worth millions, some high-grade examples routinely sell for $1,000 to $7,000. Coins with unique errors can fetch $10,000 or more. But those rare, top-tier, uncirculated beauties? They've been auctioned for anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000. And yes, one was reportedly bought in a private sale for $3 million. If you find a raw coin that looks promising, get it graded. You never know when you're holding history, or a retirement plan, in your hand. Final thoughts. Your penny could be a jackpot the next time you get change at the store, or open a dusty old coin jar. Remember, hidden treasure is real. The 1977 Liberty 1-cent coin is proof that even the most ordinary-looking objects can carry extraordinary value. So start checking your pennies. Dive into your coin rolls. You don't need a metal detector or a treasure map, just your eyes, curiosity, and a little bit of luck. Because one day, you might just pull a 1977 penny from your pocket and discover you're holding a $3 million masterpiece. Coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. Today's episode is going to blow your mind because we're diving deep into the mystery, the rarity, and the massive value behind one of the most fascinating coins ever minted in the United States, the legendary 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin. Yes, you heard that right. This little copper beauty, a coin most people overlooked in their pockets, is now making headlines and shaking the world of numismatics with a staggering market value of up to $4 million. That's right, a single cent, now worth a fortune, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned until the very end, because I'll be revealing the exact details on what makes this coin worth millions, and how you might just have one sitting unnoticed in your coin jar or tucked away in an old drawer. This is not just a story about a coin, it's a journey through American history, a tale of mistakes, rarity, and sheer luck. Let's get started. Scene 1. The history of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin. To understand the 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin, we have to go back, not just to 1980, but through the entire legacy of the Lincoln cent, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This iconic coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse, making it the first circulating U.S. coin to bear a real person's likeness. But what makes the 1980 version so special? By 1980, the U.S. Mint had been producing Lincoln cents for over 70 years. Most of these coins were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a formula that remained consistent until 1982 when rising metal prices forced a change in composition. So, the 1980 Liberty 1-cent is among the final true copper pennies, a fact that adds a layer of historical importance to this already valuable coin. Now here's where things get really interesting. The term, Liberty 1-cent, is technically a reference to the wording found on the reverse of the coin. While the obverse of the coin proudly displays Lincoln's portrait along with the word Liberty, the reverse showcases the famous Lincoln Memorial, with the inscription 1 cent prominently featured, along with United States of America. All standard, at least at first glance. But as we dig deeper into the production history of 1980, we uncover something incredible. Reports of extremely rare era coins, striking anomalies, and even rumors of coins minted using older or incorrect dies. These rare examples are the ones that today's collectors are willing to spend a fortune to obtain. Scene 2. Minting mistakes and rarity. The true game changer. Let's talk rarity, because that's the key to any valuable coin. What separates the average 1980 penny from one that's worth millions? It's the combination of condition, mint mark, and in extremely rare cases, minting errors. The 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin was minted in large quantities at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While most of these coins are common and worth a cent or a bit more in circulated condition, certain versions, especially those with unique errors, are insanely rare. There have been confirmed discoveries of 1980 Liberty 1-cent coins with double die obverse, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and even transitional errors. Transitional errors are when a coin is mistakenly struck with characteristics from the previous or following year's metal composition or design. Some rare 1980 pennies are believed to have been mistakenly struck using the wrong planchets, either leftover bronze blanks from previous years or zinc-coated ones from experimental runs. These errors are almost undetectable to the untrained eye but extremely valuable to numismatists. Only a few of these coins exist in pristine, uncirculated condition with rare error features. And when rarity meets condition, you get astronomical value. Scene 3. The $4 million discovery. A collector's dream come true now. Let's talk about the headline that's capturing global attention. The 1980 Liberty 1-cent coin that sold for an unbelievable $4 million at a private auction. This particular coin was not just in mint condition. It had several unique attributes that made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. First, it had an extremely rare double die error on the obverse, clearly visible under magnification, with doubling on the word, Liberty, and the date, 1980. Second, it was struck on a 95% copper planchet but showed evidence of having been pressed with a mismatched die, likely intended for a different denomination, a phenomenon known in the coin world as a wrong planchet Error.to top it all off, the coin was graded a flawless MS-70 red by a professional grading service, the highest grade a coin can receive. It was the only known example of its kind, and when it came up for auction, high-profile collectors from all over the world entered a bidding war. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $4 million. Scene 4. What this means for you. Checking your change could change your life. So now you're probably asking yourself, could I have one of these coins? The answer is, yes, it's entirely possible. Tens of millions of 1980 Liberty 1-cent coins were produced, and many are still floating around in circulation. People toss them aside, forget about them in coin jars, or leave them buried in old piggy banks. But among them, a few rare examples, with the right minting error or in perfect condition, could be worth thousands or even millions. Here's what to look for: a 1980 date with no mint mark D or S strong, visible doubling on Liberty, or the date an unusual weight or metallic sound, a sign of a wrong planchet, flawless or near perfect surfaces, no scratches, wear, or discoloration. If you find one that seems special, get it professionally graded. Even a minor error or high-grade example can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Scene 5. Wrapping it up. The legacy of the 1980 Liberty 1 cent. The 1980 Liberty 1 cent coin is a symbol of how something so small and seemingly insignificant can hold immense value, history, and mystery. It's a coin that bridges the past and present, copper and gold, simplicity and fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what's in your pocket change, this coin reminds us that treasures are everywhere, if you know where to look. So next time you get a penny and change, don't just toss it in the tip jar. Take a second look, because that tiny piece of metal might just be your $1 million miracle. Outro. Thanks for watching, treasure hunters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 Liberty 1 cent coin, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of coins and collectibles. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're heading straight to your coin jar after this video. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your next penny be a priceless one.